This is part 1 of me explaining how I ended up in prison. So, if you haven't watched this show or not, this is where a lot of people learned about my case. And when I first got out of prison, I had never wanted to explain anything about it. I had never watched the show. So I didn't know what was on there. Like, I had read some people's comments. I've read a lot of messages. So I knew, like, it just was a lot of misinformation out there. Stuff being portrayed a certain way that's not really what it was. But when you first get out of prison, like, I'm not saying like some people are, but I wasn't institutionalized. I was not. But when you get out of prison, like, it does something to you mentally. And why my lash look like that? I look like this because it was my birthday yesterday, and so I went out. And I don't even go out, but I went out. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, it messes with you mentally. Like, it is. Even if I explained it to you, you won't get it unless you went to prison. I will have to find the correct words so you all could understand the concept, because what prison does to you mentally is, like, it's messed up. Especially that prison that I was at. But those stories are completely different. Like, we're not going to even talk about that. I don't want to get too sidetracked. But I do want to say this before I start. I'm not mad at the producers who produced the show, because at the end of the day, no matter what genre it is, it's entertainment. I don't care that they did that. Like, I'm still grateful that it reached so many people, because that helped me get out of prison. I had a life sentence. I ain't even mad at the district attorney. He's full of, yeah, he is. You know you are. If you ever see this, you know you are. But which that we can. I'm not even gonna talk about him. I'm not. The only people that, like, makes me feel some sort of way are the people that I hired. If I hire you for a job, or if you hire anyone for a job, do your job to your best ability. And if you know you cannot do your job, say, like, hey, I cannot do this for you. Here's somebody else that can do it for you, or so and so. And definitely don't tell somebody that you can do something when you know that you can't do it. So that's my little disclaimers. I think that's all that I need to say before I start. So let me get into it. So this started for me in June of 2018. I can't remember the exact date, but I know it was June, because I had just got accepted into the nursing program, and I was taking some of my prereqs for the summer. And I had to go to microbiology that day. And if anybody ever took microbiology, y'all know you cannot miss one day of class. Like, you can't even come late to one class during the summer. Like, you cannot do that. At least I can't. So I was about to get up for class and get ready. I had a lot planned today. I had a lot going on for that day, and I was not expecting to get a knock at the door. That is the police. So I do live, at this point in time in my life, I was living inside of a area, and my neighbor downstairs, let me say this too. So at this point in time, I was living inside of a area, and my neighbor who was downstairs, who was under me, he had beef with me. Like, he swear up and down that my 2-year-old and my 3-year-old were making so much noise, and we was always waking them up, which I knew that was, like, complete BS, because I worked full time. I went to school full time. Like, I didn't even want to come home and hear my kids running and whatever. Like, I let them play, but not running inside the house, not doing any of that. I don't want to hear that. So if they wanted to run or do anything, guess what? We went to the park. So I knew that was just. So when I opened the door and the officer was like, "Hi, we're looking for someone. Can I check your apartment?" And at this point in my life, like, I didn't question police officers. So I just figured, I know there's nobody else inside of my house. Come look, and then you're gonna leave. I'm gonna get like another hour of sleep, and it'll be over with. So I agreed, and I told him it's just me and my kids here. He checked the apartment. Only took him like 2 minutes. It's a small apartment, and yeah, that was it. You see me and my kids here. So he asked me who their dad was. Their dad, like, he don't do anything to be getting in trouble. And then on top of that, we weren't even having like, at that point in time, we didn't have no good relationship at all. So it would have been nothing that, even if he did get in trouble, I would not be a person that would be involved in that, because we weren't even talking. And I'm just like, I'm thinking like, that's weird, but okay. Then he gets on his phone and he sends a message to the other officers who was downstairs, but I didn't know they were down there. And now I'm like getting a little alarmed, because like they're walking in with their hands on their guns and all types of stuff. So, and I noticed one of the officers' badges says Chattanooga. So I was like, I haven't lived in Chattanooga in so long. Like, what's going on? And this man had the nerve to start being rude with me. Like, he was like, just hang tight. And I should have knew. It's not funny, but it's funny. Like, I should have knew better. But he was being rude to me, and it was making me get an attitude. Then he had the nerve to tell me that I needed to go put on a shirt because I had on the tank top. And they're joking like, yeah, we don't want a sexual lawsuit, all this BS. So now I'm really getting an attitude, and I'm trying not to get an attitude because, you know, I'm a black woman and I'm trying not to do that. But they're in my house, they're pissing me off. So like, I go back to the original officer who came to my house, because he wasn't like, just, I'm not going to say that he was rude, but he wasn't, never mind. I'm telling them like, okay, y'all gonna have to tell me something. Y'all gonna get out of my house. Like, because at this point, you know, like, what are y'all doing? So the officer's like, we have a warrant for your arrest, but we don't actually have the warrant yet. So can you just come down to the station? And I'm thinking like, okay, this got to be a mix-up, because I don't do anything. Like, what is this? So I'm just like, okay, let me call my aunt so she can get my kids. At this point, I call my aunt, and the first thing that she asked me, like, it's not funny, but it's like, she asked me, do you have an unpaid speeding ticket? And I'm like, no, because at this point, I am not speeding. Like, I'm not doing 10 over. That's what I usually get my speeding tickets for. I'm not doing 7 over. I'm not even doing 5 over. I don't care. You can get mad. You can blow your horn at me. You can flash your lights at me. Move around, because I ain't getting no more. So my aunt's come to get my kids. When I'm inside of the officer car, he handcuffs me in the front of me so I can still text. So I'm texting my family group chat. When I get down to the station, I start to Google my name, because I'm like, what do I have a warrant for? So I'm like, Angel Bumpus Chattanooga, and I'm trying to find out like what is going on. Y'all, nothing is popping up. So I'm sitting down like, okay, this gotta be a mix-up. But like, my heart is like beating fast, because I'm like, what is it? Because I have to go to class. And I cannot miss class. Then I get my hair done. Like, it was a lot. I had a lot planned for that day. I guess they saw me on the camera on my phone. So somebody came in and took my phone. They're like, you're not supposed to have your phone. So the officers had finally came in. Like, I don't know, taking forever. Like, I don't know if you've ever been inside of it. Somebody saw me. I don't know. But, the officers came in. They were playing good cop, bad cop. My attitude is real bad right now. And while they're trying to read me my Miranda rights, I stopped them and I was like, I'm not participating in nothing until you tell me what am I here for. So then they're like, you're here for murder. Y'all, I started to panic, because what do you mean murder? Like, that's scary. It's not funny, but like, that was scary. Like, why are you saying that about me? So now at this point, I'm thinking like, what? Oh, this is a joke. Because when they said 13, I just had so much confidence in my heart. Like, yeah, you got the wrong person. But y'all come back for part 2, because this story is unbelievable. Like, I wouldn't even have believed it if it wasn't me. It's crazy.